Hi, this is Eliza, and she's in what grade? Second grade, and she's even working on cursive writing. So let's look at her grip. Oh, she knows how I like it. So the thumb starts to migrate a little bit towards her first knuckle. And so we're just going to do some activities to see if we can change that a little bit. Beautiful. Okay, so as I instructed with a handout on the H2O, I did say how so many of those things can be used with learning without tears. And I'm looking at also some of her letter formation, so I'll have to mention it because I just have to. So we'll get to that. Okay, let's stop for a minute. And right now, don't want to work on two skills at once. We're only going to look at grip skill. So you get to fill up this yourself and this. And I really just love any of these water toys because you can do so many things with them. So even a child can pretend play and paint their fingernails with it. And that's just sensory input. And if you think about it, two-hand coordination. One is gripping and the other is doing an opposing movement. So there you go. And if it's wet, we'll just dry off. I see bubbles. Nice opposing movements. Okay, you can dry off with that. Okay, so since she is in second grade, yes, she's learning so many things, so let me just show this. I wouldn't ask a younger child. I'd have them just free draw with this and look at their grip. But with Eliza, I am going to mention top to bottom for the big capital letters or uppercase letters. Start at the top. And then the other thing that we always point out with learning without tears is the magic C letters. Because that's going to play.
That's what we use. We use learning without tears.
Good. Learning without tears is awesome. But for her writing, we got to consider Magic C for some of your letters too. Magic C works for print and connective writing or cursive writing.
A.
Yeah. Okay, so just draw some and we'll look at her grip. So she's just making those letters. You need to do top down with one big line, top down, two big lines for letter A, and then cross the bridge with a little line. Okay. Now you can see her grip is changing because she's wanting to use bigger sweeping movements. But if I want a more refined control, I'm going to ask her to rest it in her hand. And again, similar to little Delia, she's getting a little opposition there. So, but if you're doing sweeping movements, you might even revert to an artist's grip, which is a pronated radial grip. So now she's doing a magic C, which is so important. She's being so careful so she's not resting her hand, which was what we're going to get to. Okay, now I would like to work on her pad-to-pad input so that we can see a little bit of practice with more of a tripod grip. Okay, so this is one of my favorite things to do. There goes water, wow, Melissa and Doug. And this one is the memory game. And what I ask children to do is to really focus on, and if you can focus in on Eliza doing just what she did. She bent her thumb. And that's the skill I would love to see, is her open all the boards with that bent thumb. Okay, open them all up. So I'm not going to care about any perceptual or cognitive skills with this. It's purely for the input of that pressure into the pad to get the thumb in what's called IP flexion or interphalangeal flexion. And if you note today, if you watch anybody giving their signature who's a movie star, you'll see a lateral grip. Many adults still will use a lateral grip, but I just like to give children the option and have them experience more of a tripod grip. Okay, so this is a game that you can even measure with a phone. It's like quickly match the two, and if you want to use expressive language, we can say find two of the same thing. So I'm going to give you a little picture of what this is. It's fruit. So if I ask Eliza, say, find the pineapple, and say, bye, pineapple, she might name it or not. But see how fast you can go with all two of each of everything. So find the oranges, close them. Now a younger child will slap the doors probably for 6 months before they think about matching things, but with Eliza, I can count on her matching. And she's just using some nice visual scanning. But I have to say, I really use this game for opening doors. It's a typical memory game, but I like to see children open the doors. So one more time, open those doors and feel that. Now the thing is, she's right-hand dominant, but she's opening the doors with her left. So that's not helping me very much, or her. So I would like you to use this hand, and if it's easier, we'll flip it upside down. If it makes more sense to open them from that direction. But whatever's easiest for her. I really want her just to have that pressure input to those fingers. So you do want to see if you're going to work on the writing grip skill to make sure they're using their dominant hand to open the doors. Okay, thank you very much. And so that was just the feeling of pressure right there for your tiny pinches. So now I would like to see you do one more writing and just feel that, to get your fingers down at the very end and let it really rest here. So try to squish down there and let it rest here. And I'd like to see her pinch even further down, especially when she has to write smaller. So we're going to see how small she can write. That's a nice magic C to magic A.
How small can I write?
Yes, and this is a fat pen, but I'm going to get you really pinching down there.
Okay.
And there's 1,000 adaptive things, but I like to do things without adapting. Okay, let me see you write something real fast. The numbers. Nice. And her thumb is still kind of migrating up. So it would take a lot of practice and different opportunities to work on that tripod. So that's what we're going to do now, is move to an exercise I like, and then we'll go back to the sheet. So just for her to feel this, there's a little resistance when you're writing on this board, so you kind of have to push hard. So I'm going to give you an idea of what to write. So I'm starting at a dot in the middle, and I'm making little tiny circles and getting bigger and bigger. I can use my whole arm and make a huge one, but that's not what I want to see. I want to see resting this arm. Oh no, we hurt our arm, so we're going to actually hold it. Start tiny and go bigger, bigger. And what I am doing now is stretching those fingers out. So I'm not even moving my arm, but I'm exercising to get the muscles working inside my hand. So eventually I can write in without moving my forearm very much. Okay, so I'm going to see you do it. But can you try this off for me? A little more heavy work. Therapists always trying to make kids work hard. Can you try with that? Fluff, make it dry, make it dry. You can see how fast it disappears. I used to work in South Dakota. It would disappear in 30 seconds because it was so dry. Okay, nice job. Okay, now I want to see you do, what's the pen you were using? Remember what color? Want to try that one? Okay, so rest your arm. Oh no, let's try to rest it really good here. Start tiny, tiny, and go around and around. So a little girl that I was recently working with, I would say we can call it a tornado or a galaxy. And after she practiced a lot, she was making snails or cinnamon rolls. I like cinnamon rolls. But it's just an exercise. That's all this is, without asking them to make a letter or this or that. You're just giving that feeling of exercising. So I want to show her how you can move it and then really rest it down there. So you're pinching at the very end. And a lot of therapists will also use a vertical surface because it works on that wrist extension. But those fingers are just stretching and using all the muscles inside her palm. So it gives her a feeling of that thumb really bending and working more than just her wrist while she writes. Nice job. Thank you very much.